With Dump That Dumpster Rentals, back at it again. I know it's been a minute, but hey, we're gonna get it when we can. I'm about to go meet up with my business partner who has never driven the truck and trailer. So me and my brother, we're gonna be out of town this weekend, and we're leaving him with the keys. So we're gonna go. We're about to go. I'm gonna meet him at a pickup. Let him pick it up, lock it up, haul it, and we're gonna bring it to the mall, and we're gonna practice backing up the trailer. So that should be fun. But I'll get that on footage a little later. But the reason I just hopped on is because we're doing pretty good. We're stable at around 10,000 gross a month, and I was thinking, how can we increase that without running my brother into the ground? Because it's only so much that he's able to do within a work day, and us getting another dumpster is just gonna add more work to his day. And then adding another driver could be pretty expensive right out the gate, and I'm not sure that we're ready to pay another driver and deal with everything that brings. So I was thinking, what are different ways that we can add on money or add income while we figure this out? So I wrote down a few things, different ways to increase income without adding an additional driver, without adding additional dumpsters, just your everyday dumpster rental business. And we just add these things on. So what I call these are add-ons, and I actually got this from one of my business partners, Full-Time. He owns a rental car business, and he has Teslas, and he has private rental. He does two-row. He does a lot of things, man. Shout out to him, man. He's always making big moves. But one thing he told me a while back, and it didn't hit me until today, he told me that he makes a lot of his money from add-ons. So he can add on if you go too far, if the mileage is too high, if you scratch his car, if you scratch his rim, if you don't fully charge the Tesla back. They can add on. So when you book the Tesla or you book his rental, you get the base fee, which is in range with, what customers are looking at. But if you do anything in that criteria of what you're not supposed to do, then the fees start to add on. So I thought about how could I add that to the dumpster rental business. And this is the list. I came up with a few things, different things that gives us headaches and that people shouldn't be doing anyway, and getting them to be held accountable. Maybe not accountable, but getting them to pay these add-ons is what it is. So basically, let's give you a few examples here. One of them that I mention all the time is material pickup. Anytime you have somebody who's doing a job that needs material, for example, I do roofing, a lot of roofing jobs, and when you tear down the roof, you have to put the new roof on. So all roofing jobs will need material picked up. So if you kind of let customers know when they give you a call, like, hey, we have this roofing job, you can bring it up right then and there. Hey, I can pick up the material for you if you need it. $75 to $100, I can pick up the material. So that's a way for you to add revenue on top of what you were gonna make anyway for heading out just to drive the trailer up. So now you just go to Home Depot, you wait there, they load you up, and now you drop it off. You've made an extra $75, $100. We do it all the time. So that's one way to add on. Another add-on would be, now wait, let me go back a second. One thing that I am changing, I'm changing to new software. I'm gonna tell you guys about it once I go through it and I do the tutorial and everything. But it's gonna be a way where customers are gonna have to sign an agreement. and I'm going to be able to have their card on file. So that's the difference. Right now, I don't keep the card on file, and right now I don't have this agreement that they must sign prior to getting the dumpster. So I'm going to put that in place first before I can implement all of these add-ons. So going back to the second one, additional time. It's almost half the time customers will ask, hey, we're running behind, can I keep the dumpster 2 more hours? Can I keep it 3 more hours? And, you know, we kind of have this way of handling it, and it's, okay, it's just 3 hours, we'll let them keep it. Customer service is great, we get our 5 stars on Google review, and that's how we approach it. But we're leaving a lot of money on the table by doing that. So what I'm gonna do is, I didn't pick the price yet, but we're gonna charge per hour, or even maybe per half an hour after your rental time is up. So if we're supposed to pick up at 2 and you tell us you need till 3, okay, that's fine. This is the additional amount, and you're gonna see this prior to booking the dumpster. So it's not gonna be like me having to tell them, right? I'm not gonna say, hey, you know, I'm sorry, but I am gonna have to charge you by doing it this way. We're gonna do it prior to them even getting the dumpster. It's a different reception when you tell them prior to. If you know prior to, it's easy for you to make that payment without looking at the business as if they're trying to get over on you. So that's why we want to get all of this information in front of the customer before they even get our dumpster. So when they ask, they already know what the fee is. Hey, it's gonna be $25 every hour or whatever it may be. So they'll see it, and I won't have to explain it to them. I won't have to feel bad. It'll be on their card, and then we'll just give them a receipt, and we'll take off. We'll add the additional fees on there. So then the third one is, we have a lot of customers that ask for additional dumps. I really don't care to do the additional dumps, but because, you know, that still takes up gas, and you have dump fees and all those different things, but it's still another way for you to max out and get the most money out of a single job, you know. So if someone needs a dump, our dump fee right now is $75 for an additional dump. So it covers their dump, and on average we're paying $30, $40, maybe $50 on a dump. So, you know, that's that. So that's just another way to make more money on that actual job. As of now, we don't have a way to charge or to do anything to a customer who puts items into our dumpster that they're not allowed to put into our dumpster. There's no agreement. There's nothing official other than me verbally telling them and putting it in their invoice, because you can't really hold them liable by just putting it in your invoice. So with the agreement, now they'll be held liable, and we'll be able to charge them additional fees for doing this. For example, if someone throws 3 TVs at the bottom of the dumpster and they load up wood and everything else on top of it, and we get to the dump and we dump it, and the guys that work at the landfill sees it, they're gonna make us pick it up. So because we have to pick it up, now we have to figure out how we're gonna dispose of it. And so far, we've been bringing it to our residents and getting it picked up by the city, but that is extra work, and sometimes it takes them 2 and 3 weeks to pick it up. Who wants TVs sitting in front of their homes? So this is something else that we're going to add to the agreement. If you load TVs or mattresses or tires or appliances, this will be your fee per item, and that'll be an agreement. We'll have a card on file, and we'll be able to run that card and add that on file. And that's a lot of money we've been missing out as well, because people love to put things into the dumpster and they try to be sneaky and put it underneath, and you don't really see it until you're gone and you don't have access to them anymore. All right, so another one would be overloading, which you've seen maybe I think it was my past video. Someone overloaded the trailer and basically we lost a tire, and then it took up the entire workday. So that's going to be in agreement as well. You overload. You're responsible at this point. You're responsible for damages because you're overloading with weight, which can damage our trailer. You know, that's a big difference. Imagine, you know, we pay $200 for a tire. Imagine having the customer pay that because they didn't follow the guidelines and rules that you put in place during their rental. So that's something that we're going to implement because we shouldn't have to fix it. I shouldn't have to have somebody else come out and bring their trailer so we can take half the rocks and bricks off of our dumpster to put into their dumpster. And it's just a huge inconvenience. So we're going to put that in place. Another thing, additional miles, which we already have this, but when customers want to rent a dumpster and they're out of our servicing area, we charge $100. And the reason we charge $100 is because it's really not worth our time, to be honest. We get enough business in our servicing area that we don't really have to to go out of our area. So what sense does it make for us to charge $25, $30? Like, it's just not worth our time. So if someone really needs it, it's $100. But if they're too far, then it's even more than that. We've gone an hour and a half before, and we charged somebody $600. This was a while back, but you know, it just varies depending on how far they go and which direction they're going in. So that's just something else where you can add on to increase your revenue as well. Same day delivery. I think we're famous in the city for being able to deliver a dumpster 45 minutes after you call us. Like, there's nobody else that I've called or found that's doing this. And I've called every dumpster rental, dump trailer, every roll-off, I don't care what it is, I've called and said, how soon can you get it out? And it's always days, if not weeks, before they can get you a trailer. So, us being able to get you a dumpster that fast is basically a convenience. That's almost as if it's an emergency and we're not charging you to do that. We just stop what we're doing, no matter what we're doing, to get you a dumpster. So now what we're doing is we're gonna add it's gonna be a small, but it will be a fee, a same day rental fee. So it may be $15, maybe $20. We haven't decided yet, but we have decided that there will be a fee for you to call me at 4 p.m. and us still able to get you a dumpster at 5 or even 6. It's just the same day, you know. So it's just late notice, and we're gonna add a fee to that. Let's see what else we have here. Another thing we've been having issues with. So on our dump trailers, underneath, you can pull the rails out so that you can walk up the trailer, or you can roll like a vehicle or wheelbarrow up the back of the trailer once you open the doors. So 2 times this month, customers have removed the pins and didn't replace them. So on one time, my brother, the rail came out while he was dumping, and he got stuck in the landfill because he didn't know that the rail was out and it was stuck in the dirt. So when he tried to pull off, you know, he didn't realize that it had fell out as he was pulling off. So that's a problem. What if it would have fallen out while he was on the road or on a bridge or going up the interstate? You know, that's a hazard. That's a safety concern. Plus, you can damage our equipment. So now we're gonna take pictures at the drop off, We're gonna make sure we have all the pins, and if a pin is missing, that's gonna be additional fee. If you don't replace the pin, that's $25 for a pin replacement. You know, it's simple. You take a pin out, you put it back in. You take it out, you put it back in. We shouldn't have to deal with customers just losing and breaking things. So just to add on to the pins, if you damage the trailer, we have some trailers that's built up with the wood. I had to talk to one of my customers because when they were throwing the shingles off the roof, the guy was just like pretty reckless. And as much as we've built the siding up to be strong and resilient, you're still damaging the sides by just dropping a bunch of heavy shingles just over and over on the side. So if you damage the trailer, that's gonna be a fee. All of these things, we're gonna put an agreement, you're gonna sign it before we drop off the trailer. So, and these things happen pretty often. I'm gonna tell you how much money we've had to come out of our pocket. So not only are you adding revenue, you're actually removing expenses if you think about it that way. So, you know, just keep that in mind, because the big companies do it. Everybody else do it. Why can't the small businesses, why can't we protect ourselves with agreements like this? So I may even, if you're interested, I may even share the agreement that I've come up with too, if anybody's interested. You know, you just shoot us a comment. And yeah, so those are all of the things that that I've come up with. I just came up with. If I come up with any more, I may add it to the video. But right now, I'm heading out to meet my business partner, like I told y'all, and we're about to go and teach him how to back up a trailer. So I'm sure I'll be able to get some of that on footage. So I'll get back with y'all. So look at how they loaded this. So this is another problem. Look at this. I mean, like, you're supposed to load it up, and again, you just assume that they know this. So this is something else we have to add in the agreement, because, you know, just, you know, how are we gonna drive with this? Then you have the table pointing up. So basically, as you can see, this is how you update the systems in your business. You figure out what's giving you a headache. You figure out what customers are doing wrong. You figure out what you're forgetting, and you start to add it up, and you compile this sheet that instructs customers on the do's and don'ts. So this is something I'm gonna add. Like, this is a perfect example. You cannot load the dumpster above, you know, the sides. So yeah, so as you can see, it's just overloaded, and it's they're gonna always do it if you don't tell them not to. So it's my responsibility to do that. I didn't do it. So yeah, that's just something, a good example right there. Every time you run into a problem, figure out how to stop it from happening again, or to mitigate it, you know? So yeah, that's him driving right now, and we wanted to go and let him practice backing up, but we're gonna see if we can do it while all of this stuff is in the back. But I don't even know if it's a good idea at this point. But sometimes you just gotta get it by any means necessary, because we're going out of town and he needs practice before we go. So we'll see. All right, so we did about 45 minutes of practicing, and I think we're gonna do one more day just to make sure he's comfortable before we head out. We do have a backup plan though. My stepdad is around just in case we need him, and also Andrew, one of my colleagues, one of my close friends, they also have dumpsters and a truck. So if I need them, or if he gets stuck, I can call on them. So we prepared, but I kind of want to get his feet wet so he can kind of get comfortable with the trailer, so that everybody on our team is capable of driving the trailer. But yeah. So one other thing I wanted to mention about increasing profits is I went back and I looked at all of our months, and the months that we made the most money are the months where we had bigger jobs. So for instance, we had a construction job where we did multiple dumps, and that was a $675 job. We actually had like 2 or 3 of those in a month. And every time we have those big jobs, we've had our best months. So that just basically makes me feel like we need to get connected to, we need to get contracts or city work, because you get paid a lot in a day. When we first started, we had to work with this guy who had a contract with the city, and it's basically cleanup. You basically drive through neighborhoods, and you work with bobcats and everything, and they pick up the debris and put it in the back of your trailer. They load you up, and every time you get a dump, you get paid per square footage. And we were getting paid like $90 a dump, and we were doing 5-6 dumps in a day. So that right there is like the difference of, like, compared to making $215 in a day, you're making 80 times 5, 6. You know what I mean? So I noticed that those miscellaneous jobs were the jobs that kind of push us over the top. Even though we want to have our bread and butter, which is our dumpster rental, our roofing jobs, that's our bread and butter, and that's our foundation. You know, so you want to have a foundation. We know what our foundation is. We know what our base is. Our base is we're gonna do $8,000 to $10,000. That's our base. So at this point, we just want to go up, and we need to figure out how to go up. And we do that from me looking at the data or the history from our past months. Is we have to get connected to those jobs that we can do on top of our bread and butter. So I think I'm gonna do a part 2 with that, and get into detail on different things that you can do as far as like working with the city, getting contracts, signing up for DBE. It's a lot of different things out there, and I've been doing research. It's a bit overwhelming, but it's worth it. So I think I'm gonna do a part 2, and I'll update you guys on different ways to make money outside of your day-to-day dumpster rental, business. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you like, what you didn't like about the video. Tell me what I can do better. Tell me what you want me to talk about. A lot of people reaching out outside of YouTube, which is cool. It's always cool, and I try my hardest to get back to them. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay strong. Brandon with Dump That Dumpster Rentals checking out. Peace.